Hello, fellow Star Wars fans. My name is Starrapter. Welcome back to the channel. It's the week of July 10th. We are talking about a Dark Horse comic and a Marvel comic this week. Briefly going over the Ahsoka issue #1 adaptation. Not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because, simply put, if you've seen the series, you've read the comic essentially, and vice versa. This is issue #1. This is written, of course, by Rodney Barnes with artwork by Stephen Cummings. This is all on the first episode. I will say, great job both with the creative team, artwork, as well as writing is involved. I felt like I was watching the episode in the best way possible. I really like seeing the stills of the different actions happening with Ahsoka fighting against the droids, with Balin's skull, and, you know, all these characters, right? Shin Hati, that's the character I almost couldn't remember. But yes, for the first appearance of Balin's skull and Shin Hati, this is going to be a collector's item. You're going to want to pick this one up. So yeah, I will pick up the second issue just for collecting purposes. But yeah, don't go into this expecting any new content. Getting into new original content, though, from Dark Horse, we have the High Republic Adventures Phase 3. This is written, of course, by Daniel Jose Alder with Harvey Talabal. And in this, we are starting a new type of storyline. It's the Evacuation Run Part 1. And we have Zeen, we have Farzala, we have Lula, we have Qort. All these people are trying to evacuate the area of space of the Siswana sector, I believe it's called, yeah, and it's where Eriadu is. Basically, what's happened is the Nihil have pushed up their storm wall right to the edges of this sector of space. So obviously the Nihil raids will be happening a lot more frequently along that new border. So basically all the younglings, all the people that are absolutely vital to the Republic are being moved out of there quickly so that they don't get in risk of danger. So that is the job of our usual heroes. They are shepherding the different younglings to a different area of space, which is Malastare. So that's what's happening there. Meanwhile, we have the B-side plot of the story where you have Crash Ongwa, right? We've seen her in the Crash Landing one-shot. Her and Crix are together, and they're finding out that their agent that they sent to go get Marchand Rowe has been killed, and now it's up to Crix to take matters into his own hands. So he makes a call to his Nihil client there on Coronet City on Corellia, and he's able to requisition a Nihil ship with a path engine, and that takes him directly to none other than Marchand Rowe's big flagship there. So we get to see where that is heading. He also gives keys to the others, Crash Wonga and all her Duatin allies, and all those guys to go get him out of this space. So it's very cool to see where that is going. But some quick highlights for this issue specifically is the introductions of the Gaze Electric. That's the capital ship. The Gaze Electric of Marchand Rowe. That is where Chris has gone. But yeah, getting into some really fun things here, we get the inclusion of the Tarkins. Yeah, 200 years before we see Grand Moff Tarkin, we get to see some of his lineage. We get to see both Severin Tarkin as well as Krevlin Tarkin. And basically they are on Eriadu, and they are part of the story. Severin is a younger character, friends of Zeen and Lula. And we also get to see Glint, which is another species that is another Aloxian, such as Qort. Except she's young enough where she still has like that skull mask thing. So there's one cute moment where she's helping out the old grandma-esque Krevlin Tarkin, getting something off the bookshelf, takes off her ceremonial helmet, so to speak, and stands on it to get a book, and then Qort goes in there to find her with that off and gives her a nice lesson saying, look, you can't take that off until you're ready. It's part of our people as a culture. You're not ready until you are ready to take this thing off. So she gives them a nice little lesson there. But there's really good heart to this actual issue as well. We get this nice little storyline where it's like every time they are traveling in space with Farzala and with Qort, you have Zeen opening up to her friends there, saying, "Oh, I'm ready to pop the question to Lula." And then towards the end of the story, Now it's Lula approaching it with the same exact question, and they are trying to keep their cool without spoiling things because now they know both of them are about to get married. So I think things are transpiring rather quickly. I mean, these characters are only like 17 or 18, and they're going to get married already. I mean, yeah, I know, back in the day, that's pretty normal. And due to the circumstances of danger at all walks of life and all around the corner, I don't quite blame them. It's like, okay, we are able to do this now. Let's do it now, kind of thing. So that was really cool there. But overall, this was a great story to kind of set things into gear for the next several issues. I'm not even sure how long the High Republic Adventures is going on for, but every time I read an issue of the High Republic Adventures, I'm always amazed with how dense, both from an artwork perspective of all the really awesome shots, but also just the writing. This doesn't feel like a young adult or a young reader novel or comic book at all. This feels very complex, with the storylines all going, concurrently with one another. Speaking of which, they also make a reference to a Temptation of the Force novel by talking about Naboo being under attack or something by the Nihil. So that was really cool to get that reference, knowing where we are specifically in the timeline. But there you go. That is what happened this week in Star Wars comics. For more on Star Wars, you're in the right place. I have my content for the Acolyte. I have my podcast at RM Transmission. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like this information and want to dive more into it and get notified, of course, by hitting that bell icon. That's going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always.
Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.